Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for Fantastic Four issue 26, 2022. That is a crazy-ass looking cover there. A skull with, like, blood pouring out of it. And, yeah, this pretty much, not granted, this exact scenario doesn't happen, but we do deal with this kind of stuff in here, so let's crack into this. So, I overall enjoyed this one, though when we get to the end, I do kind of have like a problem. So let's get into this. Look, we all know Reed's mega smart, with a good head on his shoulders, and Johnny's got a great heart and is always willing to help. So let's all hold real tight to those ideas as we tell you this story, okay? Because I'll admit, things maybe got a little out of control. It's like, okay, let's see how this kind of works out here. So we kind of see him chilling. There, this magic detector should indicate where magic is being used, which will let us prepare for Doom if and when he returns. Glad you found something to keep you busy. Turns out not a ton of trick-or-treaters in isolated Arizona farm country, huh? Odd, though. I'm getting very strong readings below us. Weird. We got ourselves a magic basement or what? No, it's not the entire structure. In fact, it seems rather constrained. Whatever it is, it's beneath this spot and this spot only. It's too bad the family's in New York trick-or-treating. Sue could turn this floor invisible and we could easily investigate what's down there. Well, gee, Mr. Fantastic, if only we had some powers of our own then. It's like, I kind of like how we've got this tied up with Doom becoming Sorcerer Supreme and then just finding, shit, we got some magic shit going on here. Johnny, any investigation of ours would be necessarily disruptive. Sue could come home to a surprise, nay, joy, of a fully resolved science mystery thanks to her cool husband and number one brother. I noticed you're already attempting to shape my hand into a shovel. Come on, it's for science and Sue. You love both those things. It's like, okay. I acquiesced. And then we dug for a bit, and it wasn't very long before we hit it. Our first boulder. It's like, okay, digging a little bit, and then kind of going like this. Definitely Reed would be like, let's see here. I moved it out of the way using a simple application of mechanical advantage. But then we hit a boulder again, and again, and again. Okay, so given how there's another boulder down there, and the basement is already mostly boulders, I'm thinking vaporize that next one. I'm concerned about inhaling vaporized rock. Heat eddies, I can blow it away, no problem. Reed, I'm almost certain I can blow it away, no problem. It's like, Reed is smarter than this. What? And also, to an extent, Johnny is too. It's like, okay, somebody put a fuck ton of boulders here. Why? Even so, I wouldn't recommend it, Johnny. Those boulders we moved were all aligned, which implies that they were placed here with intentionality. The data suggests a vertical shaft built carefully and then filled in with what must have been great effort. The parable of Chesterton's fence comes to mind, suggesting we do not disturb it any further until we understand why it was built in the first place. Yes. But we're so close, and wouldn't the best way to understand it be to find out what's on the other side? I suppose direct observation would supply more data than deduction and supposition alone. Hell yeah, it would. I was totally about to say the same thing. It's like... And then he just flames on and just burns the whole thing on. Tell Chesty I'll buy him a new fence. Flame on! And as the heat from Johnny's flame dissipated, we looked into our pit, and I observed that we may have made a mistake as shit just starts pouring out, which granted, I really love the artwork there. It's like, what the fuck? Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, flame off, flame off! It's like, a little bit late for that now, as we're seeing like weird cowboys, because there's like a dude down here. Like a lot of animals, there's someone up here, we got a moose. The boulders, they must have been holding back these ghosts back. By converting my fingers to rigid rollers, the friction coefficient was significantly reduced by as much as 0.5 by my estimate. Yes, that's what I was thinking about just then too. I just love to estimate friction coefficients in crisis situations. It's like, if it's part of the problem, I kind of understand Reed's thinking. Heave! As they just start chucking it back in. Yes. Oh my god, that was so hard. Agreed. I take it back. I take it all back. Ben is a super valued member of this team. Holy Hannah. So I'm thinking we maybe kind of accidentally opened up a hell mouth, right? But for a ghost mouth? Being held back by magic boulders, I guess? There's more than that, Jonathan. Whatever they were, these ghosts, as you call them, corresponded with once living species from across Earth's history. It's consistent with a truly fantastic supposition. Could these somehow be echoes of everything that ever died on this particular area of land? Reed, you just mechanically explained ghosts. But it's kind of cool to have it like that. So it's remarkable. The research we could do on the beetles alone. I'm like, okay. And then he just gets sucked into that. Yeah, man, I totally want to do science on ghost beetles too. But first, we gotta round those ghosts up before the others get home. And then we gotta... Did you hear something? Dang it. It's like... Yeah. I understand Reed kind of getting into the weeds. But it's like, this is a problem scenario. Let's kind of deal with this first as shit just starts going... Which blasts a hole through the house. And I just love their expression. And the paneling here. It's like, fuck? Okay, maybe if I... Nope. It's possible that I could. Never mind. As he's trying to flame it, Reed's trying to crush it with his hands. Okay, so clearly those boulders used to be enough to hold back the ghost, but no longer. Gee, I wonder why it would be kind of stupid to fucking incinerate them, Johnny. Now it seems you gotta find something else. Did we open a portal between dimensions or something? A portal, of course, that's it, Johnny. Reed, stay here and explore alternate hypotheses. I'll be back shortly. I.e., try and do something. What the fuck? Okay, I did not damage this, you asshole. Somehow my page came out. I'm now sad. But at least I got Jeff almost getting eaten by symbiote. How did this even happen? I didn't notice it when I was reading it. And I do take care of these. So Reed's going out and pretty much getting a hose. It's like, okay. That's your idea? A hose? Ghosts aren't weak against water, Reed. If I'm correct, a hose is all we need. Magic or not, the fact normal boulders were initially used to seal this portal suggests that the matter from our world can still interact with and even take precedence over matter energy from theirs, which, yes, look, Johnny, it's closing. Whatever gateway there is here, it can only transmit things through itself in one direction at a time, just like this hose. So if enough stuff going into it from our world, then nothing can come out of theirs. Perfect, we did it. Now, Reed, I've seen several movies in which a couple of wacky teens manage to repair their damaged house minutes before their parents get home. So with a little luck and a little montage, I'm certain we can... It's not that easy. This problem is patched, not solved. Our solution only works so long as we can sustain a consistent stream of matter into the portal. But even oceans run dry. Unfortunately, without an infinite source of matter, the solution is going to fail. And we'll be right back where we started. Alright, okay, hold on. I think I have an idea. Johnny, I'm all ears. As we pretty much see them kind of like dealing with that. And Johnny's idea. You're supposed to come see it, Reed. The hose doesn't need you to hold it there. Oh, coming. You say we need an infinite stream of matter to solve this, which can't exist in the normal world. And I say we're already deep into Spookums territory with a ghost hellmouth buried under the house. So why not lead into it? Today's paranormal news. Blood-vomiting skull of Shianta to be summoned for use in second larger summoning ritual. Skull that constantly vomits blood may be useful in welcoming dread Mongaroth, the charnel destroyer of flesh, into our realm. Okay. And I like how it reads like, if we're to assume the reporting is credible, then you're suggesting what? That we steal a cursed skeleton from a gang of occultists to plug this ghost portal? Exactly, Reed. Look, I don't know who the dread Mongaroth, the charnel destroyer of flesh, is, but I could tell you he doesn't sound good. This is us saving people. Hey, saving the world. We should be doing this stuff anyway, hellmouth or no hellmouth. Real hero stuff. Does the article say where the occultists are? I already looked into it myself. The catacombs of Paris. Those are century-old ossuaries filled with bones of millions of the long dead, constructed after the city's cemeteries literally overflowed into people's basements. You don't have to sell me on it, man. It already sounds great. I got walls of skulls and everything. Come on, the teleporter's upstairs. And I love that we switch over and he's like dragging him already as he's stretching. There's a school of philosophical thought called positivism. It says that everything that's true can be understood and that this understanding can be arrived through logic, science, and reasoning. It sounds great, does it not? No gods, no monsters, just a nice rational universe that if you work at it, you can fully comprehend. It's always what I believed, and it's what I still believe. As we see it going out from the skull with flaming eyes and a little top hat. Despite everything, I'm like, yeah, it might not be the most sensical kind of thing, but, it kind of works. Keep running, Reed, we're almost home free. God, it seems self-evident that we are nowhere near being either home or free, Johnny. Kill them, kill the interlopers, as the skull's vomiting blood. It occurs to me, Johnny, that mere hours ago I was happily working on my next invention. And now you've got a cute little magic skull guy spewing blood everywhere. That's life, baby. Fucking... Always watch out for Johnny Storm. And I do like this action shot as the cultists are shooting weird-ass guns at him as they're trying to escape. It also occurs to me that this skull could be harnessed as a power source. If we were to hook its flow of blood up to a water wheel powering a generator, then we produced a low but steady source of current. Blech. Furthermore, it could absolutely solve the problem of rocketry, given that the thrust any blood as fuel combustion provides wouldn't carry a corresponding increase in weight to be moved. Reed, it's a dead end. We gotta fight these guys. Right, of course. I go for my catchphrase. It's awesome, it's fun, and it's intimidating. Flame on! Reed goes in a different direction. Greetings, have you somehow never considered the myriad ways in which an artifact that produces mass without energy could better humanity? It's like, oh, okay. Go for it. And then I kind of like the paneling here. It's really kind of different, but it still kind of works. Unfortunately, we had to resort to physical violence to preserve the skull of Shianta. What he's saying is we had a rad fight scene with the occultist. Violence is never rad, Johnny. Agreed, Reed. Huh, missed me. Reed's right. It was super dull and boring to be using literal superpowers while battling occultists in a secret crypt lined with skulls. Which was, I will add, also slowly filling with skull blood. Honestly, I could barely keep my eyes open. As they're like, Johnny's like banging away. It's like, ah, shit. In any case, we defeated the occultists, alerted the authorities, and turned back home with the skull of Shianta and its endless vomitous blood in hand. So we see them pretty much take down the occultists and go back. They pretty much get everything worked out with the ghost hole. There, the last of the torrent of ghosts is closing as the skull's blood clogs the channel. Perfect. They even built a little fucking dais for it. It's like shit. Then we carefully refilled the hole, leaving, of course, a pathway for the blood to enter the portal. Then all that was left was a layer of concrete on top and my patented quick cure flames, and the good old basement floor was good as new, as they're covered in blood still. That's like, oh jeez. And then we shift that they've pretty much been explaining them, and I kind of like that Joe is dressed as Cap. Franklin is dressed as Spidey. Valeria is dressed up as frickin' Doom. Nikki is dressed up as Captain Marvel. Fucking Ben is Gandalf. The dog is dressed up as Jeff. Sue pretty much looks to be Indiana Jones. And Alicia is dressed up as like her noir kind of self, as they're pretty much explaining everything to the family. And that, my friends, is how we solved the problem of the basement hellmouth forever. And then you showed up, and that just about catches Joe. Obviously, we intend to repair the rest of the house as soon as possible. Right. I just bet you do. It's like, yeah, why wouldn't I? And let's not forget how we saved Earth from the dread charnel destroyer of mortal flesh himself, Mongaroth. Him too, probably. We left you two bozos home for one night and you blew boulders through my dear old Aunt Petunia's roof. You two were such bad influences on each other. How? What? Where? This is where I get into the issue here. Sue, we are not. Some people wish their brother and husband got along as well as we do. At least you and Ben squabble. You and Reed just encourage each other. Except for this story, have not really seen that happen whatsoever. And I would even barely say that they were encouraging each other. Johnny's like, let's find out. And then they found out, and Reed's like, fine, fuck, let's kind of deal with this shit. With nobody around to stop you, the two of you just turn your shenanigans up to 11, chasing after every single zany scheme that drifts into your heads. What? Tell me where Reed had a zany scheme in this issue. Zany feels a little unfair. I concur with that, Reed. Again, if I could draw your attention to how the dread Mungaroth is not charnally destroying any mortal flesh at present, I think you'll see, honey, you're supposed to be the smartest man in the universe. And yet in the space of 4 hours, Reed, 4 hours you dug a pit inside our house to a hellmouth, which you opened, and then fixed by stealing a cursed blood skull from French cultist, which is wearing a teeny little magic top hat, and is now forever puking blood into another dimension under our basement. And, I mean, honestly, that's par on course for the Marvel Universe, so it's like, yes. I mean, yes, but we're reliably informed it's prophesied to spew blood until the stars themselves go out, darling. No other skull can make this claim. Please tell me you at least rounded up all those ghosts. Sue, did we round up the ghosts? Please. Of course we did. We sent every single one of the ghosts, with some limited exceptions, back to the portal. Reed made a machine to do exactly that. Which Reed would. Look, it's your family's house, Ben. You tell them what you want. I mean, as long as they fix it up tomorrow morning, then I guess it's okay. Seeing as you did kind of stop this Mungaroth fellow from eating everyone's skin or whatever, you told a tale of tremendous battle, Uncles Reed and Johnny. I'm sorry I missed it. Same. Can we please dig up the skull and see it? No, Nikki. The first thing they teach you at Mom's school is not to let your kids disturb any cursed skulls. Yeah? And I mean, they just needed to go to, like, Sue being able to do it. But Mom could make the ground invisible? Please, just a little peek? We won't disturb it just for a minute? A second? Dang it. Fine. Everyone, head down to the basement. Cool! As they then see it, it's like, yeah, which is what they should have waited for anyway. But Johnny, no. Now come on, kids, it's way past your bedtimes. Incidentally, some of their beds may have been demolished. I'll get the air mattresses and sleeping bags. Hey, who here wants to go Halloween camping with their cool Uncle Johnny in the front yard? Me! As everyone's like, yeah. And then, of course, we see them chilling in the backyard as we see that there are still ghosts around. And we also see the Fantastic Four fan page. And we get a little preview as Mole Man is popping up next issue. So, I liked this issue for being Halloween-centric and everything like that, and dealing with a ghost hellmouth and a cursed skull that vomits blood, and how Johnny and Reed were able to, even though the situation spiraled into fucking insanity, they were able to pretty much get through it and fix it. I do not agree with Sue's assessment of Reed and Johnny's relationship, even in what was going on in this issue. Johnny's like, let's do this, and then just pretty much bull rushes in and kind of goes through and does it. It's like, yeah, this is why we didn't want to melt the boulders and do this, because now we don't have the boulders to put the shit back. So then they had to go to France, which isn't really that much of a problem because they've got the teleporter and everything. So well, here's the thing. If they weren't doing this, they wouldn't have probably linked up and stopped that cult. Now, we probably would have had Doctor Strange, well, Sorcerer Supreme, Doom, depending upon what Doom's objectives are, Ghost Rider, Blade, any kind of other supernatural kind of superhero probably would have dealt with it at some point, especially if they were trying to summon the Charnel Destroyer of Flesh and all that shit. But they did deal with that. It's like, oh yeah, I did like seeing their differences, how Johnny was like, it was rad, and Reed's like, it wasn't. Violence isn't rad. We still had to stop these assholes, but it's not rad. I just really didn't agree with Sue's assessment, and Ben's just like, they pretty much fixed the problem, and they're gonna fix the house, so I mean, yeah, any problem? Not really. Until we see what other repercussions could potentially happen with any of the other kind of ghost things going on. But I also liked everything going on with the artwork and everything. I loved how the ghosts were done, and especially their explosion, the use of Reed and Johnny's powers going on and all that. And I liked seeing the different kind of costumes that the kids were wearing, and how that kind of gives us an idea of their kind of headspace and who they kind of like and whatnot. It was interesting that Joe went for Captain America and that Nikki went for Captain Marvel, especially with what goes on with the Kree and the Skrull, and showing the kind of lessening of tensions since the kind of Kree Skrull Empire kind of like was created with Hulkling as the Emperor. So that was kind of cool and everything. And Valeria dressing up as Doom, oh my god, you gotta watch out for her. I mean, she'll be she's a good person and pretty much a hero, but she could potentially do some Doom-like tendencies, especially since Doom's her godfather and shit. But overall, except for the problems, had a pretty good, enjoyable time with this issue. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.